this is why I live the life that I live, because of moments like this. It's amazing how my energy level and my spirit changes when I'm in a beautiful spot in nature. We're anchored just in front of a tiny little island just east of Ibiza. It's part of the Balearic Islands in Spain, and it's a breathtakingly beautiful island. And I already explored yesterday a little bit when we arrived, and I took the dogs for a big walk across the island, and I found like a little wooden plateau, like a little veranda kind of thing. I'm usually not such an early bird. I'm also usually not so eager to get out of bed or to get going. Usually the start of my day is slow. But this morning I was super excited to get out of bed, to get out here, enjoy the morning sun. And it's all because of the beautiful nature around me. And it's amazing how it does that to me. Yesterday was a full moon, and I sat on deck and I was playing the uke. I was looking at these beautiful little cliffs around me. And I know this, I mean, this is not new to me, but it's every time it happens, I'm just so grateful and happy about it, and just like bathing in it. Here we are. This is my morning yoga spot for today. Huh? It is Sunday, but it doesn't matter that it's Sunday. This could also be an ordinary Wednesday. And I could still be doing this because, you know, my work schedule is flexible and I can just take the time to do this and to enjoy these places and temporarily call all these places my home or my backyard. And that is just something that I cannot appreciate enough. There's an old lighthouse up here that's from 1909. And then there's a bit of a ruin up here on the hill that we're gonna check out. There's a ton of seagulls that are shouting. Mines, mines. I guess this little house here is a dead end. I had hoped that we could somehow from here go to the, what is that, southern side of the island? But I don't think so. There is like a little wall that goes across. I'm gonna see if I can walk along that. there was some kind of sign saying port, authorized port people only. But then it also looked pretty abandoned. So. Nope, I don't think so. I think our adventure is stopping here. If you're wondering where Floh is, he's on the boat. I went out this morning to do some yoga and to have some me time. Which, for me, at times is important and necessary just to process a couple of thoughts, a couple of feelings. This is quite the shift for me at the moment. So I think there's a lot of things that I need to work through. And it's one thing talking about it with Floh, and it's another one processing my thoughts for myself so that I'm somewhat knowing actually what it is that I'm feeling. Anywho, I'm looking forward to go back to the boat and reunite with Floh, maybe have some lunch, and then see what next destination we're gonna go to. This one I like very much. Floh didn't originally want to go here. I picked this one, and it's an uncomfortable anchorage. And still, yet he was open to try. So, thank you for that, honey. But now it's time to lift the anchor and head out to our next destination, which I'm not really sure what it's going to be. But more about that next week. Oh, wait, it looks like we're not quite ready to go yet.
When crossing from mainland Spain to Ibiza, we had only very little wind and had the mainsail out for stabilization. So there was always a little bit of flapping. And in the middle of the night, I heard a screw come loose. And what I found out later the next morning is that at the very front and the back of this boom, there is a bearing, and this bearing is attached with in total 4 screws. 2 are holding the plate and 2 are holding the whole bearing system together. And one of these screws fell out, another one fell out even earlier. And I remember that I found a screw on the boat and I had no idea where it was from. And luckily I remembered where I put it. So that was one problem. And because the stabilization was missing, the back plate of the boom, the different rivets sheared off. So I noticed that when we finally had some wind and the boom was open, I could see that the back plate was coming loose every time that the wind picked up a little bit. And so I pulled it in, found out the rivets were loose, wanted to inspect those, saw that 2 screws were almost falling off. So I tightened them, saw that 2 are completely missing, tested the one that I found on deck and put it all together. And just to make sure that the same doesn't happen at the very beginning, because there's the very same system, I wanted to check the screws over here. And then I found out that the system that attaches the boom to the mast is in this slider and then attached with a huge pin. And the slider is connected with some screws and a backing plate. And one of these screws, I could see that the head of it was wiggling. So I thought that came loose as well. That's why we continued more or less without the sail. And once we arrived here, I took off the boom to refasten the screw that came loose, which was a big of a hassle because most of this is aluminum and the pin is stainless steel. So it somehow got corroded. And in the end, we needed to pull it up with the main and a hammer and a lot of W40, I think.
And yet again, what seemed like a simple operation that should just take 2 minutes.
1.
Floh is already battling with the cotter pin. since probably 4 minutes. And I've already heard some swear words. Are you the support team?
And eventually it came loose. I could take the boom to the side, and then I saw that the entire screw broke. So the head fell off and I couldn't reattach it. And then I drilled into the rest of the screw, was able to insert something, got it loose, and I had another screw that was almost fitting. It didn't have a flat top, but more of a round one. So I needed to flat it with the angle grinder. And apart from that, it worked. It was a bit too long, so I cut it off. And then I reassembled everything, used a lot of Loctite so it stays closed. And now I hope this is working out.
But more about that next week.